Yes! Got him. He's a nice fish. Let's have a gander at him. And he's a wild fish by the looks of it. Doesn't have any fin clipped. Beautiful fish. Look at him. Oh, if only I could put them in the smoker, but they're just too nice. Hey everyone, welcome to red nut fly fishing. As you can tell, I have a red nut, and that is why I named it that. Now, today I'm making a video about the mono rig. The mono rig is a rig that I've used lots. The mono rig is basically a monofilament mainline fluorocarbon leader with flies attached on droppers and a weight at the bottom which keeps your fly in the zone. In this video, I'll go through tying it. I use the mono rig a lot, mainly on like fast water, high water, after rain, big rivers. Tumut River is perfect for the mono rig. To fish the mono rig, I generally use a 6-weight 10-foot rod. You could use any rod really. Like I've used my 5-weight, my 9-foot 5-weight. If you really wanted to, you could fish this on a spinning rod. All right, let's go through tying the rig. And we'll start off with our monofilament. This is pre-test platypus. You can buy it at Anaconda. This line's okay. Yeah, it does. Once it kinks, it stays kinked, which isn't great. There are lines out there you can get that don't stay kinked. They've got better memory qualities than this. But this is a lot cheaper than those lines. And it's more readily available because you can buy it at Anaconda. So we get monofilament and we take off 20 or so meters, which is more than enough. You probably don't even need that. And we attach it straight to the welded loop on our fly line. So imagine that I've attached it to that. Right, next thing we do is grab a swivel or a tippet ring. Doesn't really matter what swivel you use as long as it's not too big. Right, now there's your swivel, and we're going to attach fluorocarbon to that. For the purposes of the video, I'm going to use mono because it's a lot easier to see. So I fish a 10-foot rod, which means I like a 6-foot leader. The fish are only ever going to see the bottom, let's say 12 to 15 inches of your line, okay? So we then attach our fluorocarbon to our swivel. Pretty simple stuff, pretty easy rig. Right. Now, so 6 feet. All right, well, let's get 3 feet roughly. And we're going to create a dropper. So this is the end of our main line attached to the fly line, and this is the other 3 feet of line. Remember, we're doing a 6-foot leader. Right, what we do is we get each end, grab them, hold them together, pull this one down till you get about a 5-inch dropper, create a loop, and a triple surgeon's knot. These are the strongest knots. They're great. All right, so through 3 times, you're just feeding that through there, through the loop 3 times. Now, wet it up, give it a nice pull, cut your tag off. First dropper. Rightio. Good stuff. All right, so you got your first dropper. Come down about 6-7 inches again, and we're going to create another dropper. Now, these droppers are eventually going to get shorter and shorter the more you change flies. Okay, so I'll show you a trick coming up. Another triple surgeons. Lube it up. Cut off your little tag there. Second dropper. Rightio. Got some split shot. You can use different sizes, or you can use, I buy all the same size, and if I need to add one, I add one. You know, faster water, you might need to add one. Deeper pools. But I find a lot of the time I'm just fishing with one split shot. And I think it's the smallest split shot you can buy. One of the smallest. Right, so you've got split shot. First dropper. This is adjustable. You can slide that split shot up and have it riding real low, or you can bring it down, have it riding a bit higher. And don't tie a knot in the bottom to keep your split shot on. You want, if that gets snagged up, you want to be able to pull it out. Okay, so now back to the trick with the dropper. So eventually that's going to get short, and you're going to change flies, you know, or lose flies, and you're going to lose it. So you still want a dropper, you still want two droppers. So what I do in that situation is I get myself another piece of fluorocarbon, or in this case mono, a tie perfection loop, rightio, nice little perfection loop there, and I use this knot as a stopper. So what we do is we get our main line above the stopper, above the surgeon's knot, and we feed that through there, and we pull it tight on our main line. And you've now actually got an adjustable dropper, which is really handy as well. But that's what you do. Instead of retying your whole rig, you just add that. Okay. So that's it. That's the mono rig. Let's go through it one more time. Okay. So we have end of the mono, 20 meters attached to your fly line. Come down to a swivel of your choosing. I find the smaller swivels work better just because they're not as weighty. From that swivel down to your first dropper, you got about 3 feet. 6 to 7 inches from that, you've got your last dropper, and then your adjustable split shot. That's it. That will ride in the water. The split shot will hang on the bottom, and that dropper will just travel along the stream bed like that, with your fly trailing behind. And let me tell you, it has increased my catch rate immensely, and I love that I found this. And it saves you spending lots of money on Euro nymphing lines and all that sort of stuff. It's, you know, those lines are good, but this is a lot cheaper, and I find it's a lot more effective. But that is it. The mono rig. Here's one I tied earlier with the flies on, just to show you guys. So I got some rabbit zonker leeches on there. They're massive. Like you could use them though. That, you know, big browns are going to hit that sort of thing, and it's I'm surprised how effective it is at fishing streamers. You don't just have to fish nymphs. Try everything in your box. It all works. It's just about getting to that depth, you know. Just the main thing I've learned about fly fishing over the years is depth. Depth is the key. If you're not fishing at the same depth that those fish are feeding, then you're wasting your time. Lots of people just have floating lines and they go out and they slap the top of the water all day and they wonder why they haven't caught anything, and it is because of depth. And not many people tell you that because they don't want you to catch fish because they're assholes. So I hope you've enjoyed that, guys, and I hope you get something out of it. I hope you catch lots of fish with it. I really want to hear if you do. And like I said, the benefits of it is just an increased catch rate, ease of use, and cost effective. Also, check out my other video where I was using this mono rig and I caught 2 really lovely browns. Well, I dropped one because I didn't have my net on me. But check that video out and enjoy it. That's the mono rig in action.